Our vinyl community, as it says above, or is it below? I can't quite remember now, it's been a few weeks. I've returned from the new land. Had a great holiday, met some really nice people, very friendly. Even found a superb record shop in Orlando, which I'll tell you about shortly. It's pretty apparent now to me that the vinyl community is a little bit more than vinyl, although it's my preferred listening medium, I have to say. I do find myself buying a mix of CDs and vinyl whenever I see something. I mean, CDs are really convenient for the car, I think, as we've said before. Just want to pick up on a few that I bought before I went away. This is Daryl Hall's new solo album, Laughing Down Crying. I've not seen it on vinyl, so I had to buy it like that. Daryl Hall, what can you say about him? This is not going to be a groundbreaking record, but if you like Daryl Hall and you like Hall & Oates, there'll be nothing on this that will offend you. In the late 80s, he had an album called, another solo album called Three Hearts and the Happy Ending Machine, and I would have to say that that was the sound of Daryl Hall trying too hard. This isn't. The synth sound on this, some of the melodies, etc., you'll recognise if you like Hall & Oates, and I love them. I've bought another one recently, last week in fact, but I'll show you that shortly. The reality is that Daryl Hall is never ever going to come up with an album as good as this, which I've had some time. Abandoned Luncheonette, which he did with John Oates, and there's a song on there called Las Vegas Turnaround, which in my opinion has to be the epitome of anything he's ever done. But his new album, Laughing Down Crying, is recommended. The other CD I bought recently was Elton John vs Pnau. And it's a series of remixes of about 8 Elton John songs, and they're really good. I mean, the one that I like on there is Sad. It's called Sad. It is sad as well, and that's to be recommended. And the other one was The Boxer Rebellion. I can't even read what. Oh, it's called Union. That was £1 in HMV, brand new, sealed. So I fear for the Boxer Rebellion's career if they're having to sell the stuff off like that. But at the end of the day, that was a brilliant. It's a really good album from 3 years ago. Now to our trip to Florida. We did go in a few theme parks, but we did some sightseeing as well. Went out to the coast around St. Petersburg and so. But one of my favourite days, it was like a perfectly scripted day for me. We had a bit of a lie-in. We sat around the pool where we were renting. Then in the afternoon we went to Rock and Roll Heaven in Orlando. It's on North Orange Street, I think it was, and a very friendly proprietor and his assistant. He looked a bit like a retired roadie, if that gives you a picture. But he was really friendly and really helpful, showed us around, and it was a brilliant shop. It's got records, cassettes, CDs, shirts, vintage hi-fi, the whole lot. The two main albums that I bought was this one, Whammy by the B-52s. It was $10, excellent condition, typical US pressing, very thick card. I've always been a bit of a fan of the B-52s. And the other one that I bought, that I got, I did get a few things as well, was this one, Clarence Clemens' solo album, A Night with Mr. C. I've got his other 3 solo albums, with the Red Bank Rockers, Hero, and then he did an instrumental one, which the name escapes me at the moment. It's something like Sentinel or something like that. But this is from the late 80s, a lot of production from Narada, Michael Walden, sounds very 80s, and there's a really good song there, which he does a duet with a lady called Kitty Beethoven, I think, something like that, called Tonight You're Mine. I have had this on CD for a long time, and I did import it, but I'd never had it on vinyl. And this was a sealed copy, so the cellophane's still on there. Obviously I've opened it to listen to. But the interesting thing is that on the price, and you probably won't be able to see that on there, it actually has got what appears to be, it says 11/11/98. Now that's something you wouldn't see on a price label in the UK, and I noticed it on some other things that I bought, which all could potentially be. So I'd be interested if anybody could tell me if those are the dates, because it means it's been sitting around in that shop, or a shop, for 15 years. So anyway, I've finally rescued it. Then my wife, unfortunately we gave ourselves 2 hours in the shop. because then we had to go to watch, we went to a football match. One of our Premiership teams, Stoke City, was playing Orlando City, so we went up there to watch that game. So we were on a time scale, which I regret now because I should have given the shot more time. It deserved more time. But my wife hit the dollar bins, huge boxes, and I never had the chance to look in there, but she is a bit long suffering, and she's come to the conclusion, I'm sure many of our partners in the VC have done, that if you can't beat them, join them, and she just goes in there. And so these are the things that she bought, which was a Dan Fogelberg, Phoenix, Andrew Gold, the late Andrew Gold recently died, Whirlwind. She pulled this out for me. I'm a big Al Stewart fan, Time Passages. Billy Joel, The Bridge, and then the best one I thought she found was this. It's actually a promo, so it's not for sale. Demonstration on the back. Daryl Hall and John Oates, back to the theme of Daryl Hall. Beauty on a Back Street. Now, apparently this reached number 40 in the US, or in the UK. I've looked it up, but I can't ever remember seeing this album. And it was just before the really sort of late 70s, early 80s heyday with where they had 6 number ones, I think, in the States. I don't think they've ever hit number 1 in the UK. But this was only $1, but it was, the record was filthy. It was, and it wasn't even in a sleeve. I've put it in one since. But I had a look at it, it didn't appear to be scratched. I thought, well, risk it for $1. So I brought it back, put it through a sort of manual cleaning machine I've got, and it sounds superb. There's no cracks on it at all, so that was a bargain. The other thing is just a bit of a sort of shout out to LJ in Boston. He kept referencing, and I think also Mr. Hall of Fame, Brandon, does the same, Goodwill. And I had an exchange of messages with LJ about what Goodwill was, and he told me it was like a charity shop. So I went, when I got there, I looked in the Yellow Pages and found 2, and we found them. The first one was poor, but the second one was really good, and it was quite interesting because I now know that the Goodwill Industries is about job creation as well as charitable donations, so it seemed to be a really good project to support anyway. So I went in and I bought 4 CDs for $1.99 each, $1.99. So there's Sean Colvin from a 1995 album from her called A Few Small Repairs. The Indigo Girls, I've been a long time fan of the Indigo Girls. This one's called, I think it's called Nomads, Indians and Saints. I've only listened to that once. A soundtrack CD called Boys on the Side, but all the artists are all female. Bonnie Raitt, Melissa Etheridge, Sheryl Crow, Indigo Girls, Stevie Nicks, Pretenders, etc. Obviously the Pretenders is a band, but some female singer, Chrissy Hynde. And then PJ Harvey, To Bring You My Love, which obviously Conrad, no doubt, is a big fan of. And then I've also recently resurrected my cassette deck from the loft. In fact, I've got 2 up there. One had barely been used in 20 years, because I never really used it that much at the time. And I bought 10 cassettes at 99 cents each. So I got the soundtrack to Sleepless in Seattle, soundtrack to Beverly Hills Cop, Pointer Sisters, Breakout, OMD, Manoeuvres in the Dark. I'm suffering from jet lag slightly as well. OMD, The Pacific Age, Billy Joel. I've got this on vinyl as well. 52nd Street. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers also got that on vinyl, but that's Southern Accents. David Byrne's solo album called The Forest, really interesting insert, and it opens out quite a lot of information, which is unusual for cassette. One reason why I prefer vinyl, actually. Centrefield, John Fogerty. I've got a small collection of Christmas vinyl albums, and I'll do something in December probably featuring those. Things like a second pressing of Phil Spector's Christmas album. But I spotted this. I do like Christmas music. I love it actually. And you don't hear the songs all year, and then you splurge at Christmas really. So that's the Beach Boys Christmas album. Finally, you got this one, which is it was a curiosity grab. It's the best of Hawkwind. Now, I thought the best of Hawkwind was Silver Machine, but apparently that's wrong because it's not on here. That was my US haul reel. I think we probably spent something in the order of $50 and ended up with $40, $50, probably 21 albums I think altogether, so that was really good. I did buy something else in the record shop as well, but I'm saving that for a very specific video that I want to do, which I'm not able to make yet, but I will do that. So that's it from me. So I had a great time in Florida, all really friendly people. Shop assistants always want to talk to you, people in restaurants always want to have a chat. At the football match there was a fairly naive Orlando City American fan who didn't know much about the rules, to be fair, but was really interested in the game and had a long chat with him after. Would have liked to carry that on in the bar really, but you know, he had to go to work, and you know, it's not the dumb thing when you're there with your family to go off drinking in bars, talking about football all night really, which is sort of another hobby of mine. So that's it from me, VC. I hope anybody can give me information on those pricing and whether they are the dates, because they're on all the Goodwill ones. Vinyl Harry and I, we're planning a trip to Manchester next Saturday, so we'll take my little camera here with me, and hopefully we'll be able to record some of that and show you what we get up to touring some record shops. And I did think we might be able to try and get out to Salford and see Paul Heaton's pub out there, but we'll see what happens there. Take care everyone, and speak to you soon.